Welcome to another episode of Game Boy Roulette, where we take a look at randomly chosen games from the Game Boy library. Wheel of Fortune. Why yes, I'd like to buy a vowel. Ah, the simple joys of Wheel of Fortune. One of the longest running game shows in history, and for good reason. The excitement of seeing the wheel spin, the thrill of figuring out a puzzle before the contestants do, the horror of watching as a guess goes wrong. There's something just so wonderfully satisfying about watching Wheel of Fortune. I've always been a big fan myself, mostly because it combines two of my favorite things, puzzles and big flashy wheels. And even though new game shows have come around with much more complex rules and stakes, the simplicity and longevity of Wheel of Fortune, combined with the charisma of Pat Sajak and Vanna White, has made it an absolute institution of a game show. Wheel of Fortune is the kind of game show that lends itself perfectly to video games. And such, there have been a lot of Wheel of Fortune games. Like, a lot. The first one dates back to the Commodore 64 and NES, although an Atari 2600 version was planned. And it's not just that it's been released for a lot of consoles, but a lot of game companies have taken a crack at the wheel as well. GameTech, Sony, Take-Two, Hasbro Interactive, THQ, Ubisoft. It really is amazing how many different publishers wanted their turn at Merv Griffin's masterpiece. And now that wheel finally made its way to the small screen with the Game Boy release. Well, there was a Tiger Electronics game, but come on, we're talking about systems that are actually, fun. The box art has everything you need for a Wheel of Fortune game. There's the iconic board, there's the iconic wheel, and there's the iconic... Wait, where's Vanna White? Seriously, she's so integral to the show that seeing the board without her standing there is just weird. I love the game show, so I'm excited for this one. Let's give it a big spin as we go around in Wheel of Fortune. Wheel of Fortune. Whoa. Oh man, that's like the most Casio keyboard MIDI version of the song you can get. Wheel of Fortune, spin by solve. Oh, we're just right into it. 2-player, that's nice. 1 versus comp. Play 1, enter name. My name is, of course, Q. B. K. Oh, God, Vanna. Oh, Vanna, what happened to your head? You look like a peanut. Spin. Oh. I assume this is power? What the... Hang on, far right, it goes up to here, but far left, it almost goes outside. Uh-oh. Quality made video game. Let's do this. $300. Well, I mean, you gotta always start with S. Woohoo! Well, that only took 45 years. I'm gonna actually try to solve this puzzle. The animation on the wheel is weird. Like, the numbers keep, jiggling around. There are no R's. Alright, Compy, do your thing. Yeah, look at how the numbers, dance around up there. I wish there was some music, but in the show they don't actually have music. During the game, anyway. This is, ultra-simplified Wheel of Fortune. Which, I mean, I guess makes sense. Did you just guess a Q in Wheel of Fortune? Looks like there's no jackpots, there's no special pieces, nothing like that. How about T? Aw, dang. It's giving us the Wheel of Fortune, gameplay. It's just kind of slow right now. And simplified. Not bad, but just those. There are no Fs. What is there on this puzzle? I guess I can't complain about that. It's Wheel of Fortune, that's kind of by design. I have a theory that last letter is a Y. My theory. So I don't see this so far as being something you're gonna be like, yeah, I can't wait to play Wheel of Fortune on the Game Boy. But as a little time waster, it's actually kind of fun. It's basically more like what, I mentioned the Tiger Electronics version of the game. It's basically like that. Extra simple. But doing its thing. Wonder how many puzzles there are in the game. Tell you what, after this puzzle, we will look up how many puzzles there are. Is there a C? Yes. What I like about the more recent Wheel of Fortune games is that they have a lot more, features. They have more bonus rounds. They have all sorts of stuff. This one, I mean, you kind of imagine they have to cut everything out. What is this word? We've guessed every letter in the alphabet. We're gonna have to start getting to the theoretical ones. That definitely says moo. I can't... Look at all these letters we've guessed. And none of them are in this. I think we started off with the Dark Souls of words. Oh, baby. Please, please give it to us. Yes! Yes! Oh, man. Pablo Picasso. Now, I want you guys to be honest in the comments. How many of you figured that out before me? Please be honest. Because I'm guessing it's most of you. Okay, hang on. Before we do anything, I want to look up how many puzzles there are in the game. From the looks of things, there's at least 100 of them. Minimum. So that's a pretty good amount for the Game Boy. Title, Pablo Picasso. I can also see having some fun with a friend if you're passing the controller, the whole system back and forth. Also, I just want to say I can't get over Vanna White's face here. She seriously looks like an alien. And Pat Sajak is nowhere to be found. Weirdly enough, Pat Sajak barely appears in Wheel of Fortune video games. Vanna White appears in almost all of them, but Pat just does not show up. I wonder what happens if I set the spin to minimum next time. Oh, well, yeah, it looks like it's just far, far less powerful. But why would you do that? You always want to spin the wheel as strong as possible. Take that. I just swerved you all. Oh, okay. I suppose I had that coming. All my points. This is definitely a slow game, but that's not because of the Game Boy. It's because Wheel of Fortune in general is pretty slow. It gets the Wheel of Fortune style down pretty well. But for the record, I am going to keep playing until we figure out this puzzle. Even if we have to very suddenly and rapidly cut ahead without a very good transition. Green mansions? Is that a thing? What? I have no clue what Green Mansions is, but I suppose I win? Okay, that was weird. Green Mansions was a 1959 romantic drama starring Anthony Perkins and Audrey Hepburn. So, we're going to talk about this two ways, how the game was as a Wheel of Fortune game, and also what sacrifices had to be made for the Game Boy. And as a Wheel of Fortune game, this version did pretty darn well. You had a nice looking board, you had fairly decent animation for the wheel itself spinning, and no noticeable issues with selecting and guessing letters. I do kind of miss some of the features that other Wheel of Fortune games had, like bonus rounds or special spots on the wheel for prizes, but realistically, you don't need those for a Wheel of Fortune game. Plus, the game had a good variety of puzzles, so there was going to be a solid amount of replayability. But now we get to the big question. How does the Game Boy itself handle the game? And the answer is pretty well. Obviously, we're not going to have incredible graphics or sound effects, but really for Wheel of Fortune, you don't need those either. You just need the game to play well. And the Game Boy was more than capable of handling something as simple as Hangman with a slightly animated wheel. On a personal level, I also would have liked to have some music, but that remains faithful to the show, which was a lot quieter than I remember. Really, the worst I can say about the game is that there's not much to it. It's pretty much aimed squarely at fans of the show, rather than adding in anything to really enhance the experience. So Wheel of Fortune gets another solid video game with this edition. If you like the show, or maybe just like word puzzles in general, make sure to add this one to your collection. Just try not to look directly at Vanna White. Oh god, what did they do to her? And that's all for another episode of Game Boy Roulette. Make sure to like the video and subscribe to follow the series as we continue to dig through the Game Boy vault. I'm Brian J, and I'll see you next time.